Hello everyone, let's talk about decision structures. Chapter 3. So there is a notion of a control structure in general logical designs, which logical design that controls what set of instructions to execute. The sequential structure is when you execute them in the order they appear, and decision structure is when actions or programming statements are performed only if condition exists or is true, more specifically. In other words, it's also known as a selection structure. So we will look at the little flowchart. Diamond stands for a condition. So cold outside. We're checking if it is cold outside in this diamond. So if it's true that it is cold outside, we wear a coat. Otherwise, we just keep on doing whatever else we needed to do. How about we turn this into cold? Now, cold outside, how do we typically check it? Everyone has their own threshold for saying whether or not it's cold, and it depends on many parameters. For my specific program, I'm going to choose to think that cold only depends on temperature, and it is cold if the temperature is, say, less than 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So first of all, let us ask the user, what's the temperature? My variable temp will be equal to input, enter the temperature. This is a sort of thing that we did in chapter 2, and in case you see what is wrong, and you kind of called on me, just feel free to fix it. There is an error in this line. If temperature is less than 60 degrees, I will say print where the code. And that's all according to this little diagram, according to this little flow chart. So I needed a variable. I needed to ask a user to enter a temperature so that I can make my decision based on something. This is not like the most precise way of deciding whether or not it's cold. In any case, if the temperature that the user enters is less than 60 degrees, then this statement will be printed. So let's play with this program. First of all, maybe you already spotted what's wrong. Let's run it and then we will see. So my temperature, the temperature, say 40 degrees. Oops. Type error, not supported between, less than not supported between string and integer. And this is quoting where it went wrong. And of course, if you have been paying attention in the previous chapter, you know that after I took input from the user, this function input will return a string. In order for it to compare with a number, it has to be a number, so we convert it to a float by using a float function. So rerun this. Now it will run correctly. All right, so let's try to enter 40 again. Yay, we're a goat. So this looks like a functioning little program. There is a way to make it better. V2, and again we run it and lets me enter 70, so it shouldn't be cold, and the program does nothing. So somehow when you run code and there is no feedback to the user, that's not a good idea. And maybe I'll add a print statement, just go about your day. And this will tell us what, like, that the program is done working. And nothing needs to be done. So in case of 70 was my input, go about your day. So nothing needs to be done. And if I try 37, wear a coat, and then go about your day. So that is an example of an if statement of conditional execution. This indented code is executed only if this condition is true. So pay attention to these details, because details make a difference between understanding what's going on and not. Conditional execution, if condition, later on I will call this a Boolean statement. This is checking that condition is true or false, temperature is less than 60 degrees. Then, if that is true, execute this statement. Notice the indentation. By default, your indentation can be 4 blank spaces or 2 blank spaces. If you change it, anything works as long as it is an even and consistent indentation. And whenever you have a colon, and you have to have a colon after your if condition, you get indentation automatically. So colon must be there. We'll talk about syntax more, and we will do it every time we use an if statement, which we will a lot. All right, so let's look at proper syntax. If condition, we will talk about conditions later, but those are Boolean conditions. Colon, statement, statement, statement. There can be as many indented statements, and all of these indented statements will be executed if condition is true. Otherwise, they will not be, as my previous example showed. So typically it can be bigger or equal to, or check the equality, and so on. So relational operator, bigger or equal to, smaller or equal to, that is completely okay. Another relational operator, greater or equal to, we can modify my program and actually add some description of what's going on. If the temperature is less than 60, in this case less or equal to 60, advise to wear a coat. Actually, since maybe this should be a one-line comment, so let me switch to a one-line comment. Here it is. Run. It will run in exactly the same way. Let's enter 55, wear a coat. So I changed my threshold for cold. Now 60 degrees is also cold. Previously 60 would not be cold. It's just my choice. And 61 would fail this condition. If I were to enter 61, you would fail this condition. And that is not cold. So this print statement was never executed. All right, an interesting operator, double equality operator. Let me make another example with it. So I will just ask the user to enter something. So user input, that's a variable, equals to input, say something. And if user input is equal to hello, then print hi. So if the user said hello, this program is going to be replying hi. So user double equality. Double equality is an operator to check the equality. If user input is hello, let's run, see how it works. How do I save it? Basic chat. This is the most basic chat I can come up with. Say something. If I say gibberish, nothing happened. Let's rerun it. If I say hello, it replies hi. Notice that it has to match the string exactly, so if I was to do hello capitalized, it would not say hi. We would have to work harder to create a better chatbot. Back in the old days, chatbots were basically a bunch of if-else statements and a loop. We didn't talk about the loop, but that can still be made to work for some occasions. Another operator not equal to. Let me change this chat. So if user input is not hello, say you did not say hello to me. So if the user input is something other than hello, this statement will be executed. And maybe another one, you are mean. So we execute in two statements in case the user input is not hello. So say something in case I say hello, nothing happens. These statements are skipped. And in case I say anything else, if user input not equal to hello, if that is true, my user input is not indeed equal to hello, then these two printing statements will be executed. Again, notice the indentation, notice the column. If you somehow delete the column, you will get a syntax error, expected a column. So sometimes it exactly tells you what is wrong. All right, let's keep going. So know all these operators. You will be using each and every one of them. So here is a little table of operators and their meaning. Feel free to remember it. It's a good idea to remember. And now let's actually create a little program. So there is a simple decision structure. There is some sales variable that is going on. If sales is bigger than 50,000, the condition is actually written inside the diamond. If this is true, then the bonus is 500, and false, nothing. So there is a variable bonus here that has to be assigned to be 500, and there is a variable sales that needs to be assigned. All right. File, create a new file, bonus. I will use this to showcase a typical issue as well. So while I'm programming, watch for potential problems, try to identify them before I show them. So I need a sales variable, and I'm going to ask the user for it. Again, I have to convert it to a number, numeric format, float, input, enter your sales. So the salesperson wants to know if he or she got a bonus. If sales is greater than 50,000, now we're dealing with the condition, print you. Actually, I'm going to do it in a better way and say bonus equals to 500. So exactly what the program wants me to do, what the flowchart wants me to do. And after we executed that, we can unindent. This is an unconditional statement. If you don't indent it inside an if, it will be executed anyway. Your bonus is bonus. So I created a variable, and then I'm referencing the value of this variable. All right, let's run this program, and you probably are screaming at the screen right now because something is wrong. Well, enter your sales. My sales are 100,000. Good for me. Your bonus is 500. It seems it works. Either from the logic, though, of this program, you should spot a problem, or from thoroughly debugging. How about my sales are smaller than 50,000? My sales are 20,000. Oops, variable bonus is not defined. Good testing, or maybe understanding the project of your problem, of the algorithm well, the logic of your problem well, would tell you that my bonus variable was only defined in one case, if sales is 50,000. Otherwise, it's not defined, and that's what this error is complaining about. What this exception is. Bonus equals 0 to fix that. So bonus is equals 0 originally, but if the sales are greater than 50,000, it is updated to 500. This now will work anyway. So my sales are 20,000. My bonus is 0 because this line was not executed. And of course, it will work in case my sales are 60,000. It will update the bonus value to 500. The highlighted code will be executed because the condition is true, and hence bonus is 500. All right. So this is typical check of conditions. So if balance is equal to 0, again, double equality is not assignment, it is check. It is a check. Or payment is not equal to balance. And as they emphasize here, you can have embedded if. So you can have nested if conditions.